Now, finance ministers from the Group of Seven or G7 have agreed not to release strategic oil reserves for now, despite the recent surge in global crude prices. The ministers held an emergency telephonic conversation on Monday to discuss the spike in oil prices triggered by the US-Israeli war on Iran. In a joint statement, the G7 said it is ready to take necessary measures to stabilize global energy supplies, including the potential release of strategic stockpiles. However, officials said more analysis is needed before taking that step. A G7 official told Reuters there was broad consensus among members, with the debate centered mainly on the timing of any reserve release. The issue will now be discussed by G7 energy ministers today, followed by G7 leaders later this week, who are expected to take the final decision. Remember, the G7 includes the United States, Canada, Japan, Italy, Britain, Germany and France. Now, speaking after the Eurogroup meeting of finance ministers in Brussels, European Economic Commissioner insisted that G7 energy ministers do stand ready to release strategic oil reserves, but not yet.
We stand ready to release them. And we had a discussion indeed on US positioning on this, and also US is broadly aligned with this approach, and they were emphasizing what they were discussing in the case of India being, so to say, very much contained both in terms of time and scope of the measure, so they do not expect substantial impact of this on Russian oil revenues.